Hi everyone, thanks for watching. In today's video, I want to talk about the resignation of Attorney General Barr and how Trump may use that to try and stay in power past January 20th. The reason I'm bringing this up is because of an article in the Wall Street Journal from just a few days ago, and that story didn't quite get the media coverage it probably should have. In an article on December 12th, the Wall Street Journal reported that President Trump has expressed interest in pursuing the appointment of a special counsel to investigate allegations of fraud in the November elections and issues related to Hunter Biden, according to people familiar with the matter. According to the Wall Street Journal, White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows has told people that the president is interested in pursuing a special counsel to investigate election fraud and wants to act quickly. The president has expressed rising frustration with his attorney general in recent months, privately and publicly, according to aides, as efforts by the president and his supporters to overturn the election have repeatedly failed. Mr. Barr's announcement that the Justice Department hasn't found evidence of widespread election fraud that would reverse Mr. Biden's victory infuriated the president, and Mr. Trump has openly accused the Justice Department of being involved in the election fraud he has alleged. Let that sink in for a moment. The President of the United States accused the Department of Justice of being involved in election fraud because the Department of Justice did not find evidence that the president won the election. That's truly stunning. The Wall Street Journal article goes on to explain that under Justice Department regulations, the appointment of a special counsel would have to be made by the Attorney General. A special counsel is appointed to pursue investigations with a level of independence not subject to day-to-day supervision by agency officials and is only removed by the Attorney General for misconduct or a conflict of interest. Associates of Mr. Barr have said that he was unlikely to name anyone to such a post, particularly after he appointed another prosecutor in October as special counsel to continue his examination of the origins of the FBI's Russia investigation back in 2016. So Barr was unlikely to appoint a special counsel to look into the November elections, and now Barr will be leaving in just a few days. This is hardly a coincidence. Deputy Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen will take over for Barr when he leaves. Rosen, by the way, doesn't have any prior experience as a prosecutor. Rosen has been heavily involved, though, in politically sensitive civil litigation the Trump administration has pursued, including several lawsuits against Trump critics. He oversaw a lawsuit, for example, and a request for a restraining order that the department filed in June against John Bolton, whose book, of course, was highly critical of the president. In a few days, we'll have an attorney general who seems to have very little practical experience to help him in his role. In fact, the Wall Street Journal reports that some federal prosecutors say Rosen's predecessors had a stronger understanding of their jobs than he does, leaving one with the impression that Rosen will be easily manipulated. Further, according to the Associated Press, Trump is still weighing his options, considering whether to pressure Rosen to make the special counsel appointment or, if needed, to replace the acting attorney general with someone more likely to carry out his wishes. According to the Associated Press, Trump has even asked his lawyers, including, of course, Rudy Giuliani, to look into whether the president has the power to appoint a special counsel himself. A key question will be whether Rosen can stand up to presidential pressure and potentially withering attacks in the waning weeks of the Trump administration. If not, Rosen could quickly be cast aside in favor of another who is more willing to do Trump's bidding. Shortly after Rosen officially takes over for Barr, we can expect Trump to privately and publicly pressure him to appoint a special prosecutor to look into the November elections, as well as Hunter Biden. In the next week or two, we will hear that Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen or his replacement announcing that a special prosecutor has been appointed to look into the November election and to look into the tax situation with Hunter Biden. Donald Trump has not given up on his attempts to overturn the results of the November election, and he still has cards to play that will help him do just that. And if one of those cards means that a special prosecutor will find problems with the November election, then that card will be played. And if another card means means that the special prosecutor's report needs to be released just before January 6th in order to sow chaos within Congress before Congress validates the election, then that card will also be played. Now, I know that most of you think that this election is over with and that Biden will be sworn in, but it's important to remember who we are dealing with. We're dealing with a man in Donald J. Trump that doesn't care how he wins. He doesn't care what he has to do to come out on top. He doesn't care what depth he has to go to in order to get what he wants. He simply doesn't care about throwing truth to the ground in order to get the result he desires. All Trump cares about is power, adulation, and loyalty. And he and his supporters have just 5 weeks to make that happen. Trump is full of rage because he knows his time is short. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I hope everyone is having a good week. Take care.